Hey, Trav.
Okay, it's one of them days. All right, so what are you interviewing me on?
So you mentioned how you had struggles, and I think that you owe it to your audience to discuss what your struggles used to be when you was growing up.
Growing up. Oh, okay. All right, well, here we go. I grew up redneck poor. I was a redneck. We're talking cloaked out there in the forest, boy, redneck. Jelly and bologna were sandwiches. My dad was such a good
That's
con artist
nasty.
and a liar. He got 500 per kid when the only one that really needed a check was me because I have cerebral palsy, unfortunately. And we had to fight for our food. He'd go to Ryan's Buffet back when it was a thing, Roger's Barbecue when it was a thing, and it was bad. I mean, we had to eat the way we ate. I mean, when you can go into pour your cornflakes with no sugar into the bowl, and you got the roach doing the backflip, the high dive, they're just swimming. It's like Joe's Apartment before that movie even came out. You look up at your cracker mom with a cigarette in her mouth, and she's like, Mama, that's disgusting. And she's like, it's extra protein. Wrap, eat it. That's how it was. I mean, it was so bad. Remember the guy I took you to, Bobby, out
Yeah.
there? I introduced you to him. He used to buy us pizza, and that's how Trav learned how to fight. Because we'd come running like a pack of wolves towards the food. And I had to fight for that food, you know what I'm saying? It was so bad that, those octagons that they put the horse in to run them around?
Are you talking about a merry-go-round?
No, octagon. It's like an octagon ring, and you walk the horse around in it. It's
Oh,
like training a horse.
oh, like a horse ranch.
Yeah. My dad had one of those octagons because he was help tearing down one of those ranches. And what he would do, he put a piece of plexiglass in it. And then when one of us got in an argument, he'd go out there with his buddies. They'd be looking through this big piece of glass. This was long before MMA. And we had to fight. And whoever fight got the last bit of food that we had. So I learned how to, it was a struggle growing up. Struggle. I mean, my buddy Jay, I can't tell you what he's personally seen, uh, especially not anymore, but he was there. He witnessed so much. Even when I was a kid, I used to vent to them a lot, or him a lot, and he didn't realize the struggle until my 14th birthday. I brought him in the house, and you could literally knock on our trailer wall because we trailer trash for, and them roaches would go. He couldn't wait to leave. I couldn't blame him. That's why I always wanted to go over to his house. I mean, I couldn't blame him at all. It was embarrassing. You don't want a friend coming over to your house. But despite all that and all the meanness, I mean, when I was graduating, you know, regular diploma and all that, top of my class, my dad, this was long before cell phones where you could do three-way calling. I guess I was already living at a place. I called him up, and my mom picked up one phone in their house, and he picked up the other. I said, "You guys want to come to my graduation? Let bygones be bygones." And he says, "Nope, never wanted a crippled son. Don't call, don't relate." So I asked my mom. I said, "Do you want to come?" And she said, "I agree with your father's sentiment. You, uh, you were an accident. If I would have known you were coming 3 months premature, I'd have stuck a coat hanger up there."
Wow.
Um, Another true story, real quick. We'll go way back when I was a baby. I was a baby. They were living with people that were supposed to be my godparents. I guess I stopped breathing. The godmom that I had said, "Where's Travis? What's going on?" She, my mom didn't say anything, just walked out like it was a blessing on her. She ran back, the lady ran back to the room and realized I wasn't breathing anymore. Now, I don't know if I was that my mom didn't put her hand over my mouth and cause that, knowing these remarks that I know that I just told you. Because this lady told me this when I was in my 20s. And she said, "I beat the fuck out of your mama." Because the paramedics had to resuscitate me. And so that's how I grew up, but anything else? I mean, I grew up hard, rough.
And nobody made reports?
Oh, I think there was a few, but back then it was real, limb. You know what I mean? They didn't do what they do now. I mean, I remember going, but these other houses, not only did they get paid by the government, but they got paid by the government twice, especially if I lived with them. Because they got a check. It wasn't about my well-being. It was about what I could bring in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But those weren't too awful bad times, But you miss your brothers and stuff like that. But how many? Let me ask you this: how many brothers or anything have you ever seen, or anybody call me?
Never heard from them.
Thank you.
Never noticed you talk to them.
Thank you. And what do I do that people don't get to see?
Sorry?
What do I do that people don't get to see?
What do you do?
Like in the aspect of the community.
Um, you always go around town. I mean, everybody knows you as
The
guy
guy
in a
with the dog.
scooter
With
and
the dog.
with the pit bull.
hmm It's because I've said this once and I've said it before. I love to help. I'll give my last dollar, as you know, to the bum on the outside of the car if there was one there. You know what I mean? I've
Mhm.
always been that way. I've always been pleasant. Even when I was a kid, I knew I didn't want to be like this. You know, there had to be a change. So when I tell you I grew up poor, I grew up poor. Anything else?
Well, how do you feel like your struggles help you become the person you are today?
Because you can overcome them. If I can do it, you can do it. I just gave you an earful that you're recording, and I'm gonna obviously have to post. But if I can do it and I can overcome it, and I'm physically impaired, and believe me, I took some beatings. Um, if I can do it, you can do it. I struggled to eat food, but I'm still here. I just survived a horrific car accident.
Well, there's people who go through struggles and they turn around and they let their environment just tear them down.
You have to adapt and overcome. You got to tell yourself that you have the willpower to do it. And my drive was the world was already against me because of these. Here's another story. I was about 6 years old, and these kids, and we were, like I said, trailer poor and sandy driveway, all that, trailer and everything. Okay. I could take you to the property right now, but it's out there, so I don't think it'd be good for you and me. So here's the thing. I was out there just playing, being who I was, and these kids were making fun of me, throwing eggs at me. Ha ha ha, look at the cripple, can't walk straight, ha ha ha. And they were throwing eggs. They must have wasted 2 cartons of eggs on me. For real. You know what I'm saying? That was it. You know, what was I supposed to do? Get mad? Be bitter? No, my brother came out and beat their ass. But here's what happened. Through all that, it made me a bigger person. I overcame it all. Now that's why I may come off with a rough exterior, but I love to help people. What do I do at Ace? What is that, the point of that job? That's to help the customer get to where they're going and what they're doing, and explain what the item is. I enjoy that. Now, the world hasn't been fair to me, even in this car accident, but it is what it is. It's always been that way. As you can tell, what did you say earlier? What was that word you used earlier when I told you about my mom saying that shit to me? If I was an accident, she'd have stuck a coat hanger up there. Or if she knew I was coming 3 months premature, she'd have stuck a coat hanger up there.
I think I said something along the lines of you wasn't given a fair shot at birth.
Right, but you don't have to have a fair shot. The future is what you make of it. Live in the present, embrace the future. Make it a good one. Work hard. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I went and got a job, and I'm physically impaired. If I can do it, people have struggles. You have to have that willpower to tell yourself to do it. When you've already quit, that's why those people go down that sour road. And they're bitter, and they're angry, and they're upset. Or if they have somebody that's a codependency on them. That's what happens. You know what I mean? Me, I always had that drive to keep going. That's why I'm still here. That's why I work so hard at what I do. Anything else?
I don't have any more questions.
All right. Well, I'm glad you wanted to make this video for whatever reason. So remember, guys, the ending part of the video, forget all the other shit. You can do it. Work hard. Just work hard at it. If I can, you can. The world's not fair to any of us. It is harder for physically impaired people. But if I can do it, and you just hurt my struggles, and that's only that much of that shit. Because handicapped people go where budget is, just like regular people, but it's harder for us because we're on a budget where you have a job. Would you not agree, Janae?
It's a fixed income for you.
Yeah. So it's harder because we may want that nice house, but we can't get it. So the point is, you keep trying no matter what. Goals may be put on hold or on hiatus for a while, but you can do it. So with that being said, overcome your problems and just keep going, guys. And have a good one. Anything you want to add? No?
No.
Okay. Have a good one, guys. Hope this video reaches you. Love y'all.